Hello everybody and welcome back to This Got Awkward Fast. Shit, I'm not the Game Grump, so I can't make that joke, because I've got nothing to add to it. Shit. Oh well. Anyway, Shizune just took her top off and everything, so, you know, that's a thing. Her figure's curvaceous and taut, and the healthy color of her skin contrasts with the black of her underwear. It's a wonderful sight, especially against the background of the moonlight through the window. I like to imagine Mr. Mewtwo's like just peeking through the door, like, "Hey man, I came here to see if you guys are still here, man." Like, whoa, man, whoa, shit, man, holy shit, man, I can't believe what's going on, man. I'm tripping balls, man. She looks at my chest and works up under my shirt one by one. The process is greatly slow, but my hands moving up and down her thighs. It's a little amusing to play with her like this. Eventually, finally, my shirt falls to the ground. Shizune surprised me by quickly pulling me in for a deep kiss without warning, but I quickly return the gesture. Why are you bolder today than on the roof? Or in your room? It's because we're at the workplace, dear. It just means I get to take everything else off. I try to think of a good answer, but it isn't easy. How would I be able to respond to that if I could? There's no way to, unless they say the bureaucracy really puts me in the mood.
Damn, girl, file those papers. You giving me the vapors.
My shirt having been disposed of, Shizune moves onto my belt, and I decided to help her undo it instead of answering her question. I don't think it would do much good at this point. It's so hard to get it off, it falls to the ground with a metallic clunk. I move in for another kiss and begin inside of my hand at her side, but she suddenly lurches forwards, making me stumble backwards. The stiff edge of the table behind me was the furthest thing from my mind, and I feel it stabbing in my lower back. I hadn't even noticed it was there. It makes me grab Shizune a little tighter as we fall back onto the surface of the table. Oh shit, there's boobage! There's boobage, I'm gonna have to censor that. Look, she's like predatory as shit, and he's like terrified, he's like,
"Please don't hurt me." Shut up, you swinehunds! I have been waiting for this for a long time. I will be satisfied.
I hold back aside Shizune. Victoria holds herself above me. She's won again. I'm distracted until Shizune's bra falls on me, seeming like it dropped out of the sky. I end up laughing, despite how hard I try not to, and it's contagious enough that Shizune starts to laugh as well. Freed from her bra, her boobs are larger than I thought, even though they were noticeably large through her shirt already. She picks up her bra with her fingers and flicks it off as my hands move across her body. Straddling me with her knees on the table, Shizune slips her underwear off with my hands moving to her hips and constantly to help her. I catch a glimpse of my watch. It's only been a few minutes, but it felt like so much longer. She eases herself downwards, closer and closer till her bare chests are touching, her breast feeling strange as a scar from my heart. And there's the scroll up, which is going to be a bitch to censor cause movement. When Shizune sits up, I feel myself slipping inside, slowly enveloped by her below as her breasts lift away from my torso. An attack from two fronts, I think, dryly considered. God damn it, game, you're not making the Nazi jokes any harder for me. You know what they say about attacking on two fronts? I should just stop now and leave you stewing in your lust. She says as she starts grinding herself against me, causing me to blink at the sudden pleasure. Very funny, Shizune. I lose track of my thoughts. Shizune bites her lip to muffle her voice from coming out. An unwanted voice. This is the most I've ever heard of it, and she blushes when she realizes she let it slip out. To cover it up, Shizune drives herself against me harder, causing me to jolt against her, driving my erection deeper into her. My erection. It's ogre! I thrust my hips, I'm gonna have this with horse. It's like a fucking tug of war. I almost can't take any more. Visual sensations. Blah, 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 blah. As soon as hands pushed mine down to the table, every motion of hers is a push of some kind. Table under us rattles under her combined weight. I doubt it would collapse, but the noise is really something. No that Shizune notices. Her pace grows faster. Her movements... Aha! It seems you finished oh, wait. She finished first. LOL. LOL. Suddenly she stops, almost falling on me with enough speed that if she didn't catch herself, her body would have knocked us unconscious. The worst situation possible, someone happened to walk in while we were knocked out. I'm surprised, but not to forget that we were both naked and the sudden painful interruption just happened. Why did this have to happen? Was it intentional to leave me stewing my own lust? She was out of breath sheepishly, realizing it at the same time I do. I'm sorry I tripped or slipped or something like that. She has no vagine. She's no vagine there. It is nothing. She's hiding it. I had a thought. Is the door unlocked? She quickly gets over the table and bowls over to check and locks it, unlocks it, and then locks it again, pulling on the knob just to make sure. When she's finally sure, she makes an out-of-place motion with her hands. Safe! I'm glad you can take things so lightly. I didn't do it on purpose. Why don't you take the lead then? Come on. I grabbed Shizune by the shoulder, trying to pull her onto the table instead. Her brow screams displeasure as the edge of the table pokes into her back, just like it did to me. She hopes to help herself onto it. And there we go. There's the liquids. The lol squids. It's also the first time I've seen Shizune lying down unclothed. The contours of her collarbone and breasts are beautiful. My eyes fold them down to her shapely hips, a delicate hourglass figure. I feel my hand, a body, booty, 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 booty. She's in pain, hooray. I mean, not hooray. Does this mean I've won? With my hand, I grab her from her bed, I fondle her stuff, and I'm reading porn now. I'm reading porn now. Wait, what? Oh, that was just a white shift for nothing? God damn it. Oh, that was him jizzing. It was him jizzing. All too soon the feeling ends. All I could do afterwards is stay inside of her with my hands holding onto the table, full of lack of energy because her legs are still locking me in. For Shizune's part, she smiles almost dreamily. The sight makes me smile as well. Her legs slowly fall, allowing me to extract my penis. Exhausted, leaning against the desk and trying to regain my breath before putting my clothes back on. I notice a dull halt throbbing in my chest as I button my shirt back up. It puts a bad aftertaste on everything that just happened. It was a lucky break that Misha couldn't be here, wasn't it? Damn, it could have been a threesome! You're in an unusually joking mood today. I wonder what she had to do. Shizune traces the air lazily with a finger and points to the door. Go see for yourself. Why don't you just tell me? It's more interesting if you see for yourself. Seeing is believing. Sure, clever. Maybe I will. And what about you? Are you going to stay here all day? It's getting late. It feels like my last day as student council president, so maybe I'll sleep here tonight. It could be the last chance I have to sleep at my desk, like after a long day trying to meet a deadline. That's weird. I'll sleep in my bed. Sitting up is a skill. It is indeed. It is a very useful skill. Right. For a moment after I leave the room, I actually do consider seeing what Misha's up to, just because Shizune made it sound so secretive, as if she were building a time machine or something. But in the end, I decided not to. Damn! What she was watching the entire time with a fucking video camera. It's gonna be on YouTube the next day. Oh, wait! Ah! Da-da-da-da-da-da! The night air is so pleasant this time of year. It's a little refreshing, a little humid, but not chilly to make it uncomfortable to stay outside for a while. It's late enough for the courtyard to be all but deserted, too. After Shizune and I said our farewells to each other, I set out to return to my dormitory room. I didn't even make all the way there before getting distracted. It doesn't seem like a bad idea to go see what Misha's up to. I have nothing better to do, no homework, I'm not out of anything worth reading. On top of that, I simply just want to know. This is my first time being in the main building after hours, but usually it's as I'm leaving the place with Shizune and Misha for a long day at student council, not entering it alone. The atmosphere is quiet, a word I would not normally use to describe these halls. It's a little creepy. A light starts flickering up ahead. It seems like a horror movie waiting to happen. Feeling a hand on my shoulder, I stiffen reflexively. Oh god, I'm going to die. It's not Misha, or else there'd be hands coming over my eyes, or a sing-song Guess Who accompanying them. So is it? Who is it? I hope it's not Kenji, or at least it is someone I know. or this will take a turn for the weird. And it's her! Whoever it is quickly steps in front of me. It's Shizune. Oh, thank God, I think this is gonna end with a murder.
Now let's not turn this rape into a murder.
What are you doing here? I'm so relieved I forgot to sign it. Shizune pierced a finger up to her lips. I guess even though she can't hear, she has some idea what loudness is. I can tell from my expression that I was being loud. And apparently being loud isn't a good thing right now. But then, why is Misha her interpreter? Oh, very funny. Why are you here? I was waiting for you to come see. I knew you would show up. It took you a while, though. You've been waiting here? Yes, but that isn't important. We have to be stealthy if we don't want Misha to detect us. Tell me if I'm not being stealthy enough, okay? With that, Shizune starts slowly tiptoeing through the middle of the hall. I pat her on the shoulder to get her attention. That's not stealthy. Why do we have to be stealthy? She refuses to answer, probably because signing and walking stealthily at the same time doesn't look easy. And there's Lord Percival Meltyface, founder of Yamaku. Suddenly, a sound like a crack of a whip pierces the air, followed by a familiar expression of frustration. I'm sure a sound like that isn't good for my heart, not to mention everything sounds like a million times louder with how silent it is. It's coming from inside the room, and I sidle up to Shizune to get a look inside. What's going on? Mewtwo, what are you doing? Can you stop throwing your pencil, please, man? How do you even throw a pencil that loudly? I mean, shit, man, I'm sharing my fucking stash with you, man. Like, you could at least help me, man. Help me, like, enjoy my high, man. He looks very flustered. What an understatement. I sympathize with Mewtwo. I was able to hear Misha's pen break the sound barrier through a wall and a thick classroom door. It's already blew out his eardrums and left an imprint on the wall.
I'm not throwing it! When I get nervous, I like to spin it around, but then I forget I'm holding on to it, and then...
Why is she, like, she's glistening. Jesus. It doesn't matter. Either way, there shouldn't be pencils flying around. I got enough of it during regular school hours. I don't need it after hours, man. I mean, shit, man. Pass the bong.
Alright, sorry!
Whatever, just stop throwing, releasing, or dropping things, please. Teachers have work, too. Man. I know Shizune watching the same scene I am. Mewtwo is yelling at the top of his lungs, and Misha's being Misha. I can hear them reasonably well through the door, but Shizune obviously can't hear anything at all. So I wonder what watching this is like for her. She must know since she understands well enough to want me to see it too, but I have to wonder if she ever feels like she's missing out on something, having to work that much hard to understand what she's observing. Looks like she's taking supplementary lessons, is she? Yeah. I answer despite knowing the question was completely rhetorical. Misha told me she really wants to be a sign language teacher in the future. If she can get a recommendation, she can study overseas for it. That is why she's working so hard. Her grades were always kind of on the low side. Now I feel guilty. I haven't even thought about what I'm going to do yet. Neither have I! Well, obviously, you're going to grow up to become Hisao Nakai, the science guy, but change your name to Bill Nye, and then you're going to go hang out with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's what's going to happen, Hisao, and Shizune is going to be president of Japan, or Burundi. Depends whether she overthrows Burundi for their blood diamonds or not. The cheerful way she signs is very unlike her, and is very obviously false. Let's get out of here. We don't want to be seen. It would be a problem if we were caught standing here out here like idiots. Where? The student council room? Shaking her head, she slips in the classroom across the hall instead. Great hiding place. You're unusually sarcastic lately. Visit door closed, it's a good one. Anyway, wasn't it interesting? Yes, I'm not really surprised. I close the door behind us. When Shizune laughs silently, she slides into a chair. For a second, it depresses me. I want to hear her real laugh. Sometimes, bruh, real laughs aren't always cracked up to be. For example, yeah. I never asked for this. I've been looking down on Misha. I didn't think she had a goal at all. But it turns out I was wrong. I made a careless assumption. I thought Misha was as aimless as I was. I was stupid. I lost. Shizune pauses to crack her knuckles, then folds her hands over each other and leans forward in her chair. In the abnormal quiet of the building, I can hear Mewtwo yelling at Misha again, even across a hallway and across 2 doors. Shizune's eyes are locked on mine, unblinking behind the gleaming lenses of her glasses, observing my reaction to her words. This is a test. Her opinion of people is rarely formed from how they respond to questions. It's how they respond from statements that count. In hindsight, it makes sense. Shizune's ability to speak, as well as just her personality in general, means that anything she says is a big commitment on her part. Everything. For that reason, I sometimes doubt she says anything without a hidden agenda behind it. That sounds remarkably paranoid. Even Kenji would think so. Unfortunately, I'm so caught up in thinking about it that I forget to give her an answer. She takes it as there not being one. There was an invisible time limit to this test, shorter than usual. Just as I thought. What do you mean? You don't agree? Not really, it's not that. I don't get it. I want to force my will on people. How refreshingly honest. Don't give me a weird look like that. It's not like not like that was always my intention. At first, I was just bored. I wanted to see someone's passion for something. Then I could try and beat them. I wanted to test their ability or their convictions. But it was impossible. No one has any passion for anything in this school. They just want to keep to themselves. I can't believe it. It's too boring that way. I thought there was no way these trap people could be for real. It goes beyond not wanting to make waves. They had some interest. They had to have some interest. They had to be hiding something. I wanted to expose it and reveal it and drag it all out. One of the most successful ways to get people to open up to you and cheer them up is open with a story about yourself, and then you ease them into telling you about themselves. It's like give and take, but with an element of manipulation, which makes it interesting. I can't do that. If I attempt to have Misha talk about me, for example, it makes me seem arrogant. The message has to go through a messenger. I'm standing next to Misha, telling her to tell someone about me. You don't have to be able to read sign language to see that. If I was forced to sit through that, I would think I was arrogant too. I was frustrated. I couldn't figure out a way to have a conversation with anyone but Misha. No one would open up to me. I came to the conclusion I can't make people confide in me or believe in me. I can only hope to create things and show them to people and hope they make them happy. Or I can be more forceful about it and hopefully it would eventually stick to someone. I guess that would be me. Feels vaguely depressing, actually. Somewhere along the line, I started to ignore Misha, or see her as less of a person, or something like that. I took her for granted. I think that would be the best way to put it. It was like she was just an extension of myself, okay? I forget the whole time Misha was there, opening up to me and giving me 100% every day. I missed what I was looking for because it was in plain sight. Blah 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 boo bee boo ba boo ba. Ba boo baby, angst, 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 angst. If someone like me has no goals, it'd be totally unacceptable. It'd be the worst kind of hypocrisy, and hypocrites don't deserve responsibility over anything they can't even manage themselves. I'm incredibly pessimistic. It makes me angry to think about it. I would hate myself just a few months ago. That must be how I look to others. And funny enough, it was Shizune and Mishu convinced me to stop. Without them, I'm sure things would be much different, and not for the better. Lately, it feels like we passed through our miseries as much as we're supported by each other. But it just comes with the territory of having friends and being close to... Okay, then. Dear Princess Celestia, this is basically that. This is basically summing up everything we learned during this story. Have a goal. Don't be a bitch. Da 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 da. Don't make your lesbian friend hate herself. I won't coast though, I'll work hard until I'm at the very apex. I'll have as much money as possible, it'll be like I know what to do with it, I'll move on to the next step, after sitting on it for a while of course, like a fairy tale dragon. You want to be a philanthropist! And also she wants to fund her Reich. What were you thinking, that I want to be a miser? Well, it's true, it's part of the plan. Don't sell me short and stop there though. Shizune still looks uneasy. Of course, even if she did seem to resolve her problem quickly, no one can get over their anxieties that fast. No one can solve their problems that easily. The important thing is, though, is that she had her heart set on trying. It's still hard to tell whether that drive of hers comes from a good or a bad place. But she has something to hold on to now. I can generally... Okay, this feels like the end part of the Hanako thing where I met her in the park. There aren't any further... Wait, what? What? There's more? There's more? The fuck? We're on part 31! This is more parts than Hanako ever fucking got. And that was a lot more fun. Because a week before that, Shizune and Misha's sudden newfound clarity left me feeling a little lost and envious. I thought there was no way I could rest easy at the time. Unfortunately, nothing came of my worries, and before I knew it, there was enough to deal with in school. And I even managed to put them off my mind, and I'm yawning because I'm bored. Jesus Christ. They were still strong. Now we're going to be graduating soon, and going to oh god, it's going to go to fucking graduation, isn't it? Try not to write them down as each with special order, the least important to me. So I ended up like that anyway, even though they ended up being a shorter list than I expected to be. Kenji is somewhere in the middle. They said I would have to graduate eventually. Well, I showed them. I've lived here rent-free for more than long enough. If you take into account the rising cost of land, I think you could say I've won in the end. Wait. No, you know what? I did win. History will acknowledge me as the victor. Wait, did he get held back? The victor of what? I must just stay out of sight and slip through the cracks. I beat the system. You put it that way, it sounds like you just ran away from the system. Sometimes running is the greatest form of a victory, like in the Olympics. I'm too tired to argue with him. Who's he kidding? Everyone knows that the shot put is the best Olympic event in any case. You are wrong, good sir! Because the Olympics is sports, and I don't know sports. So what you're basically saying is you won't miss it. Miss what? School, dummy. No, I told you this place is too filled with feminists. It's beyond saving. But at least I'll be able to get out of here before it reaches critical mass. I'll only come back years later when they build a statue to honor me. And my formula! They do the 10-year later reunion thing here? How'd I know that? Probably anyways. I have to start packing now. Take care of yourself, man. And don't let the vaginas hit you on the way out. Should have packed a week ago, like I did. Not that I had much to pack. That's not how it goes. You're supposed to do everything in the last minute. Men are better at doing everything in the last minute. The last minute can have more productivity than like the entire week before it. It's how we keep shit fair. You'll never understand our manly ways. It's almost as if you have a vagina. Do you have a vagina, Hisao? You take care of yourself too. With a salute, he shoots backwards to the door, slamming it shut behind him hard enough that the entire dorm probably heard it. And there's a lot of people slam doors here. Maybe it's a local thing. Take care of myself. It's the first time I've heard him say it. Usually he ends our conversation with something like, "See ya! I'll pay you back later, man." Well, he was a little annoying sometimes, so I'll miss him. I cross him off my list mentally. This is very short now, and once again discard the notion of going through it in any kind of order. Like I said, I never had that intention. I got to look for Shizune and Misha. I can only think of one place they could be. The student council room, of course. Then Tono almost jumped into a small group of students. For a second, a bitter feeling flashes through me, since all I know, that could have been fatal. It's the new student council. There aren't a lot of them, but a lot more than 3. Which is good, since it means there's enough of them that they can each have their own title. It would have been cool if I could have had a little desk plaque with my name and title on it. I don't think they do that now, or ever did, unfortunately. The new student council surrounds me while I'm thinking. If anyone were looking at this from afar, it'd be a pretty sinister sight. Maybe they come to finally get back at me for calling them this new student council all those times. I was just translating for Shizune, but I guess I should have been less lazy and more tactful. I regret nothing. I regret nothing! I find myself being thanked for everything I've done. I'm being thanked. This should make me happy, considering how often I would think to myself that seeing student council was a completely thankless job. It makes me happy, but I can't enjoy it fully. I wonder how things would turn out since our student council had grown as large as the one that's set to replace us. Even though they've only got 2 or 3 other members, it's enough that they have set roles. It's not like us, where Shizune seemed to be the president, but that was it. The new student council thanking me gives me a strange feeling. It's like coming back home and seeing that the tree you nurtured for years has grown. But I could feel I didn't nurture that tree enough. I wonder what more I could have done. It's like an entire fucking year. Hanako got like 2 months? Hanako got 2 months, and Hisao gets an entire year. The fuck? Game. Hisao. Shizune got an entire fucking year. It'd be more likely to make Shizune furious, I would feel distant from her, the student council this way, or entirely I didn't do enough, but it's true, I was only following her. So in a way, I feel like I'm viewing that tree from far away, as if I'm seeing it from a window of a train as it passes by. I indulged in these thoughts for too long. When I snap out of it, I realize I'm still standing there, surrounded by new student council. It's the only thing I can do, and I apologize for zoning out. Then, I thank them back. When they walk away, I enter the student council room, which looks a lot messier, but seems to have gained a computer. The fuck? It makes sense. I recall hearing one of the clipboard girls talking about her plans to use a computer to make all the boring data entry Shizune does more tolerable. Alright then. I can't remember which one said it, though. Aoi seems to be a more ambitious one, but then again, Kiko appeared... Kiko! I remember my Japanese lessons. Kiko. When it's an EI, it's an E sound. Kiko. Like Hideki is an EI, but it's Hideki, not Hidaiki. I'm not alone in the room, but instead of finding Shizune here like I expected, it's just Misha. She's sitting on Shizune's desk like Shizune herself often does, swinging her legs back and forth. When her eyes meet, she hops off and inexplicably poses like a superhero.
Hi, Hichan! I'm surprised to see you here!
What are you doing?
You first!
I was looking for Shizune.
Me too! I thought she'd be here, but I got a Hichan instead!
Gee, thanks.
Well, this is good, really! I wanted to talk to you anyway.
About what? I take the time to glance around the room a little more. I see a hot plate. They really are living high.
I wanted to say sorry, of course, for all the trouble I made for you and Shichan.
Don't call it trouble.
Right. Don't apologize.
Wait, don't apologize to Shizune.
Right. But that's not why I'm here, Shichan. Hichan, I wouldn't apologize to Shichan, but you're here, I want to ask you a question. Hichan, what do you think it would take for Shichan to be happy?
World domination, obviously. Seek higher!
I'm hitting the 30-minute mark almost, like 3 minutes. This has gotta be almost over, right, Hichan? This is getting kind of annoying to do this voice. I just want to go out and get drunk. Even though you're joking, Hichan, as she could, she would make Shichan happy, only for a little while. Hichan, you ever heard of artists who tear their paintings as soon as they finish them? Such people really exist in the world, you know? I remembered it all of a sudden. It's just like Shichan, and I think about it. Whenever Shichan sets up a challenge for herself and completes it, she acts like her skills have no meaning anymore. I wonder, is it because she can't create anything permanent? It's just like those artists, now they want to create a piece of art to leave behind, a really great one, but can't do it. It's really obvious when I look back at it, but I didn't see it before. Now I'm scared. I wonder if Shichan will ever be happy.
No, I don't think so. Not about her ever being happy. I think you're wrong. Shizune's actually happy more often than I thought. I think it's actually kind of amazing. Usually people don't think about that kind of stuff till they're middle-aged or dying. Then they think, I want to leave something behind, or I want to be remembered. Like me. Only I skipped ahead a little. My life was short, and seemed even shorter after my heart attack. I don't think about what I was leaving behind, because I was very thickly thought there was almost nothing I was leaving behind. So all that was left for me was to stew in my own bitterness. Shizune already wants to leave her mark somewhere, but she wants to do it by helping people. That's why celebrations are so important to her. She even wants to become a philanthropist. I think that's the best way to live. Living on by what you give to others. Fucking hell, Hisao! Living on by what you give to others. Even if it's for a selfish reason, that's okay too. The elements of vanity. Shizune is already happy, because if something goes well, there will always be someone else to see and remember it. That is what makes her happy. Misha sighs, arms stiff at her sides, hands tapping the air softly.
Before, I still thought, I'm gonna make Shizune happy, and I was it.
Oh shit, that's the first time she's actually said Shizune. Fucking hell.
And I thought I would do by being like Shichan's shadow! I kept trying even after she rejected me. I felt like I was struck and I couldn't do anything before Shichan's back getting smaller while she kept going. I was scared even though I should have just accepted it. It's hard! Maybe I could have at least understood Shichan. But it was like I was completely wrong after all. I didn't even know that or think about it. Shi-chan would call it a complete loss. Okay, I'm done. Let's see He-chan. Since you're the one who knows Shi-chan best of all, you can't make her cry or I'll be angry! I'm gonna go overseas after this. I even have letters of recommendation! Or I don't think I'd be able to normally. Maybe I'll study become a sign language teacher over there, who knows? That means you have to look after Shi-chan, okay?
Misha smiles as honest as ever, but obviously she's changed. The look in her eyes is that of a much more attentive girl. It seems to be true that hardship builds wisdom. It reminds me of the look in Shizune's eyes. I wonder what Shizune might have been through to have become who she is. I can take a guess, or maybe she was always like that. I want to see her even more, and suggest to Misha that we should look for her together. Of course, just a pretext for more time with a friend. It's strange how it hasn't been all that long since we last hung out together, the three of us, in the span of a routine student council day. Yet it seems like it was long ago. Long ago in a distant land. I, a cool, shape-shifting, thingy of darkness. Whatever. Okay, saying bye to Yuko. Da 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 ba dee boo ba dee bo boo dee boo ba. Okay, they do cameras. Of course, very long. The gate is barely a minute's walk from here. Even though they can be tiring sometimes when we see Shizune with student council, they're probably thinking her too. As soon as she sees us, she shoos them away, which is very easy, since I doubt any of them will understand sign language or use it. They're not too sad about leaving. Which in turn makes me wonder why they would thank her without someone who can, but it's the thought that counts. Shimishi immediately hugs Shizune, then leans against the gate next to her. I, on the other hand, decide to hang back a little and let them talk. After all, Misha wanted to talk to Shizune this whole time. I can wait. I even turn away so I don't eavesdrop on their conversation. I end up losing time, like my watch for 10 minutes. I wonder if they're done, turn around and find them behind me. What are you thinking about? Boring philosophical things I don't want to talk about? Don't worry, I'm not thinking about it too hard. Good, getting philosophical at times like this would be the first thing you could do. Yeah, I just wanted to stand here for a bit. It's relaxing.
This was a busy week. I'm still illiterate, by the way.
No, really, not for me. I know it must have been busy. Doo-be-dee-doo-be-doo-be-doo-dee-doo. Wait. I won't feel bitterness. I won't talk to that person. I just want to keep chasing Shizune's butt.
What does the new student council want, Shi-chan?
It's hard to daydream when you have to deal with Misha's voice. I didn't know that they had someone who knew sign language. They don't. I think it was most likely just a goodbye, so I appreciate it, even though I couldn't tell them. How did you know I was here? Is this supposed to be a secret? Anyway, we just asked Yuko. Did she take a photo of you too? Yes, without asking me first. Yuko doing anything spurs the moment is rare, so I let it go. Let it go, let it go. The cripples never bothered me anyway. We should take a photo of the three of us. We haven't taken a student council photo yet. Now's the perfect chance. But if I had to look at a picture a year from now, I don't want her staring back at me.
What's that mean, Shi-chan?
Pictures are supposed to capture the moment, is that right? Without a doubt. They're not portrait, just standing around would be so stiff. I wouldn't even capture how I feel. I feel like we'll meet again. So this isn't an occasion to take such a serious photo. It should be a see you later type of photo, not a big deal. It should be something more festive. I'll get the hats. Like this, follow me. Shizune posed like a musketeer, so quickly I'm not even sure she knows it's silly. Do you really have to do such a cheesy pose? I can think of no better pose. Misha, go find Yuko.
I don't like the pose either, but it looks kind of nice.
That doesn't even make sense. She's already gone and returns dragging Yuko behind her. The flash is off. A red LED blinks 3 times above it as Yuko's finger presses the button. She's in a glance at both of us to make sure we have the timing down, synchronize watches. We jump! I bet that turned out excellently. Wunderbar! Greatest picture ever. Okay.
Let's go with Yuko too!
No, please, Sugar Cubes. No. That's not necessary. I want a copy of this photo, too. I'll likely die younger than the average person. My life could unexpectedly burn out at any time. I don't have any time to waste then. I want to live as much as possible. I also want to see other people smile from what I've made and done. Living vicariously through the happiness of others doesn't seem too bad. Feeling joy through another person's... God damn it, Hisao, even when you're being happy, you're a fucking wet blanket. I don't like this Hisao. This Hisao is lame as shit. I miss Hisao Nakai, the science guy. However, people can take reference in moments of happiness. They can dot a person's life like stops on a train map, or waypoints of memory on a long trail. These individual moments on reflection can give a person's life fulfillment. Every friend and festival and joyful meeting and joyful parting. I want to be able to ask Shizune one day if I'm right. I want to spend the time I have with her. Finally, I want to make Shizune smile for herself. I love you. I pause, wondering if she'll look at me confused and ask why I'd say it out of the blue. She doesn't. Did they do that reunion thing here? It's because you're speaking, you fucking dumb fuck. Of course. Oh, no, he was signing it. Of course they do.
The student council member could know that.
Sunas and Zatsu, okay? Both of you.
Right.
Yeah. Yuko, do the pose too. Afterwards, we can go for tea. Shizune laughs as she doesn't have a care in the world. Misha's laughter joining with hers is easy if it were her own. We'll meet again. And I will touch your butt. The end. And here we are, the end of Shizune's story. We got to destroy their friendship, but that wasn't a proper ending. That was a bad ending. That was a bad end. Pity it was a bad end. So, I don't know if you noticed, but halfway through I got bored. Wasn't having fun. I haven't been having fun. I've been having fun, like, every now and then when something crazy happens, but I don't think I'm gonna play the rest of these. Simply because, you know, I did the math, it'll take me until at least, like, late October, maybe December at the latest. Depending on how long each episode is, because they're kind of variable. Depending on whether I reach a point of breaking or not. But, yeah. But, yeah, I don't think I'll be playing the rest of these. Shizune and Hanako, I think, are two good stopping points, because it branches off the story. It was two distinct things, like, barely anything was repeated. And that's a thing. That's 2 trees done. Maybe I'll come back to this, like, later. Like, maybe when my channel gets bigger and I'm doing other games. Like, when I just have, like, time to do something. You know, just a game I'll come back to eventually. Anyway, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, everyone. For more game, I want to do more visual novels, but I want to do ones that are shorter. Ones that, you know, I can finish decently quickly, you know? And then, like, just, yeah, because these aren't things I want to be playing, like, for hours on end. I really don't, because it takes the fun out of it. I like games where I can play it, and I can constantly have fun, and I can share that fun with you guys. Because some of these episodes are really fucking dry. Anyway, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. There's places like my Twitter, my Tumblr, you can follow down in the description. Those are linked. What else? What else can I do? That's it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon. I'll be back with more games. Enjoy your week, your day, your hour, your minute, your second, your nanosecond, your picosecond, everything. And have fun, guys. Have fun with whatever you're doing.